Shit. Okay, I think I'm live. Looks like it. Anyway, obviously I think I saw something about there's 2 people watching. They've changed the setup of YouTube again. I used to do it through Hangouts and I used to have a little bit more information, whereas now I ain't got any of that other than I have got the comments over here. Yeah, so that's good. Anyway, yesterday it was another rush job. I've here in Spain, time goes so quick. I couldn't believe how quick the time went. Before I knew it, it was 3:45. I had to set up, like I just said, they changed the software again on YouTube, so I had to mess about. I got on, I put on a t-shirt. I didn't notice it till after. I had put the t-shirt on back to front, so I'm not wearing the Expat today. I'm just wearing a normal t-shirt, which is it's the right. It's not inside out as well, which is good. Now I'll take it. People are watching. I've got 7. Got a thumbs up. I'll take it. You can hear me, guys, and you can see me. You're good. So Steve's already said he can. That's good. Good news. So today, another Sean has come in. Top man. Good name, that, isn't it? Spelt it different, but it's the same. Mandy, good, good. Nice to see everybody coming in. Okay, I'll get on with it straight away. As from yesterday, I hopefully have given you some idea what this is all about. And for the next next 6 days now, I'll be picking out topics which I think are quite important, especially some of you people that's thinking about coming out to Spain and living. And today we're talking about the NIE. But I'll just give you a little bit of Jen, because I expect some of you haven't been on here before, they know what it's all about. So my name's Sean. I've been living out in Spain now for Kevin for about nearly 4 years now, but I've been coming to Spain over 35 years because my folks used to live down in Malaga. So hopefully I've got some knowledge of Spain, not all. And don't forget, guys, I can only give you my experience. I'm not going to say this is what you got to do, all that, because I'm not only saying what I've gone through. I think it's only fair that I tell you what I've gone through. There's no point me saying, well, if you come from America, yeah, you're going to need a visa. I don't know the rest of it. That is something that you would have to find out yourselves. But I can give you some idea what you're going to need, especially when you arrive here in Spain. You get first thing, like we're going to talk about today, is the NIE. I think that's the most important. Now, and it'd be interesting because I don't know it all. That there'll be some people that can put in the comments some more information. Now, yesterday, I haven't had a chance yet to even go through the video that I did yesterday, because I said on there that if you've got any questions, I'll try not to talk about the questions, Theo, because as I said, the second week I'll go through all your questions, but I haven't had a chance looking for them yet. But yesterday, somebody called John Proctor, he said that when he went to the embassy in Manchester, and obviously he's talking about the Spanish embassy, that he managed to get his NIE there in Manchester before he arrived in Spain. So that's interesting. I know you can do it online. I was a bit worried about doing it online because you still got to report to the local police station. If you can get it done in the embassy back in the UK or wherever around Europe, that's fine. But I know once you get into Spain, and if you're living there, once you settle down, you need to get an NIE. Now, even if you're buying a property as a holiday home, so you're not going to be staying there very much, I still think you're going to need an NIE number. Now, some people say you don't really need one. Do you have to? No, he's got rid of that. I'm not too sure about that. So it'd be interesting if anybody out there that actually rents, because I don't rent. So this is what I'm saying. I can only give you information that I do, because one thing I did notice with the NIE, if you're going to buy anything expensive, and I'm talking about maybe a television, a mobile phone, if you haven't got your resident card, and you won't, not when you first arrived here in Spain, then they ain't going to give it to you. They need your NIE number, because that NIE number is your identification number for tax purposes, but also it is your identification number, and it is it's written down at the local police station, so they know where you are. I do know people here in Spain that, as they say, under the radar. I haven't got NIE. It amazes me how they cope here in Spain without NIE, because obviously you need a Spanish bank account. If you haven't got a Spanish bank account, maybe they get money sent, I don't know, but that's interesting. Theo's just asked, do you have to renew your NIE? Well, officially, you don't. Once the number is given to you, that's it for the term that you stay in Spain for. But I did read somewhere, I don't know if that's true, because this is the other thing about rumors on the web. Some provinces, and I can quite believe that, in some provinces in Spain, there probably is a renewable date. But as far as I know, here, ever since I've had it, there's nothing about renewal date. I never heard no mention of it. So yeah, as far as I'm concerned, once you get your NIE, that's it then. You're marked, it's your tax. And what I'm going to do in a minute, I'm going to read down some of the gun fare, because me spelling it out, I might miss out something. So I'm going to give you some official notes on the NIE, and then we can see how it goes. But without that NIE, officially you can't open up a Spanish bank account. If you're buying a car, obviously you're going to need your NIE. And even obviously in the process of buying a property, you're going to need your NIE. So yeah, that's one of the most important things. Now, like I said, if you're renting, if you're only renting, say you come over and you're just having a look, say you're renting for 3 months, then you probably won't need to, because you might decide you don't like it here and you can go back and it hasn't cost you nothing. But if you decided that's it, I want to buy a place, then yeah. So I'm just reading what Maddie's saying. Yeah, that's a good question, that, Mandy, and that's one of the things that it does say on here, that when you fill out the form, they need your address. So unless you've bought the property somehow, you've gone on a weekend trip to Spain and you bought your property, you should obviously have your address then. But then until you actually got the deeds and whatever else, I can't see how you would get that. But good question. I mean, that's what I think. I think personally, if you going to get your NIE, you do it here, really. I mean, like I said, you can do it online. I don't got an idea of paying somebody online. I don't know. I'd rather get the lawyer or your solicitor to go with you. What's it called now? What's that? I'm trying to think about off it. The notary. You go down to the notary. They give you the forms. Somebody's going to say something different in a minute. But I know I went to the notary, and they read out the form, and unfortunately, guys, I haven't got it on me, but I did get a picture, just give you some idea what it looks like, because the last thing I do want is you not have an idea. And all it is a piece of paper, an A4 piece of paper. There's not a lot on it. Hang on, here we go. You're probably not going to see it very well, and as always, the internet takes time. Okay, so it's a little bit blurred. I don't know if you can see that very well. Probably not. It looks like the bloody screen's whitened it out. Oh, hang on. Yeah, there's a little official mark at the top there. It's from the local police. And those red squares is obviously your name. Yeah, and the bottom one, yeah. So it's your name, your date of birth, and your number underneath that. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to read out a bit of spill. Now, if I miss any messages, guys, I apologise for that. I will try and catch up. So I'm going to put this up now, so you should be able to see this. Because when I start reading it, I'm not going to see any messages. Especially if you've got any questions, that's back to front, isn't it? It is, isn't it? Is it back to front? Can you read that, guys? Right. So Theo, good comment there. It's up. Yeah, good. No, it's not. Okay. Good. So if you have got a question and I miss it, it's not because I'm being ignorant or whatever else. I just hadn't noticed it. So just put it down there. Or one best thing is add it to the video in the comments, and I'll get back to that. Anyway, I'm going to go on with the spill now. But Theo's put a good thing there. He's gone to his local notary. I think that's the word for it. And they issue the number. That's what happened to us. As soon as we saw the place that we wanted, I think it was 2 or 3 days, we met our lawyer or solicitor. We went down there to the local office. 40 euros is about right. And me and the wife, obviously you get one each. You know, it's not like because you're married you get one. It's you both get your numbers given to you each, so you got your own identification number. So now I'm going to read out this stuff, give you an idea. So the NIE is a tax identification number in Spain, known in Spanish as the NIE. Now, I'm not going to pronounce the Spanish word for it because, one, I won't be able to read it, and two, I will not be able to pronounce it correctly. But you get the gist of it. The Spanish government have linked the NIE number to the residence, where the NIE appears on your residence card and the social security card. Okay, so that's a bit of a spill, really. Yeah, once eventually you get your resident card, your NIE number will be on that. So you won't then have to carry your because this is another thing I hate about Spain. Especially when you go out in the car, you're supposed to carry all your documents, your passport, your NIE, your padron, all that stuff. If you get stopped by the law, but I've been stopped a few times. I'm not saying you don't break the law, but I've been stopped a few times. They haven't asked for all that, but apparently you're supposed to carry all that. Anyway, and obviously, if you decide to do work here, your social security will be attached to your NIE number. Okay, why do I need an NIE number in Spain? So the NIE number is the personal and unique tax identification number that is used to track all financial and legal activities in Spain. The NIE number acts as a tax and identification number and is used in all fiscal transactions that involve the Spanish tax office. So what it's saying, every time virtually you spend any huge amount, I won't say a huge amount of money, every time you spend something, like if you went out and bought a television or a phone, you are going to have to prove who you are. So either you show your NIE number or you would show your residence card. But obviously, when you first come out, you're going to have to show your NIE, and they won't deal with you if you haven't got your NIE number. Now, when I went and bought my car, they were quite happy because we didn't have a permanent address then, so we had to give them our rental address, even though we hadn't moved into it, but we still had to show them our NIE number. Now, friends of ours down the road, they couldn't even buy a car, even we're at the padron. Now, we're talking about the padron tomorrow, but yeah, so that NIE number is quite important. And obviously, if you're going to set up a Spanish bank account, now there are some Spanish banks that will obviously set it all up until you get your NIE number, but officially you've got to have your NIE number before you set up your bank account. And once you set up your bank account, you've got to put your deposit down for your property. Now, for rental sides, I can't answer that. I don't really know. So it'd be interesting to know if you're renting here in Spain, how the NIE, is that still important? I'd imagine it is. Be interesting. Yeah, so Theo's been really good. He's saying that you even need that if you're buying a load of stuff in the local DIY store. Sean, we've got our NIE numbers in the Spanish embassy in Dublin. For us, we had to provide 2 envelopes. Can I just ask, did you still have to give them your Spanish address when you set up the NIE? Because this is the thing, it does say on the form that you have to give them, obviously, the place that you're staying at. Now, would that be the place that you're renting, or would that be the place that you're actually buying? Is that Aaron? Okay, so I'm going to carry on. All right, how long does the Spanish NIE last? So another question that we've had already. Yeah, NIE number comes with an unfortunate wording that makes it seem like it only valid for 3 months. Now, I didn't notice that on my NIE form, anything about how long it lasts for. It seemed, in practice, it does not expire. Only you have a number assigned by the national police, and it's yours for life until you stay in Spain. Well, I mean, that's as far as I know. I mean, I had to renew. Well, I had to apply for my residency. The only thing that they did specify is that my padron couldn't be no less than 3 months old. So I did renew our padron, which is quite an easy thing to do. I'll be talking about that tomorrow. But with the NIE, no, there was no problem with that. But I have seen on the forums, and I can quite believe it, that maybe in some of the provinces in Spain, there is maybe a renewal date, but I am, as far as I know, everybody that I've spoken to so far around here hasn't said they have to renew theirs, and I can't see anything on my piece of paper, and it ain't much. It's just like, that's what it's to say. It's like this. No, it's not like that. Because it is an A4 piece of paper. I haven't got mine on me because I asked my wife to give it to me because I don't know where it is, and she still hasn't brought it down yet. But that's all it's like, a piece of paper. But it is still an important piece of paper, so don't lose it, guys. Now, what we did, because a lot of what I didn't like about here in Spain, because you've got to carry all your documentation on you, even your passport, all in the car, your logbook, everything like that. And some people said you can get it miniaturized, and then somebody else said no, you can't do that. The law doesn't officiate that. But what you can do, you can get a copy done of your NIE, your padron, your driving license, and then you take it down to the notary again. They stamp it. You have to pay them, of course. I forgot how much. It's not a lot, and I think you have to pay for each form that they stamp, but it obviously saves a lot of hassle, especially if you lost it or your car got broken into. So that's something else to think about once you're here, is maybe get your forms copied, because the last thing you need is spending in the next couple of weeks trying to sort out because your NIE disappeared somewhere. So always worth like that. So Theo's just saying there, yeah, you're going to have to register that within 3 months. Now, I find it difficult because I would say the NIE, you want to get that done straight away, you know, because you want to get especially if you're buying a property, you want to get the ball rolling. You want to get that Spanish bank account up and running because you're going to start to need to pay the deposit. Especially if you want to go and buy a car, getting about. I mean, I know it's a bit difficult, especially when you're first looking at living here in Spain. And I've always recommended that if you're going to come and live in Spain, it's a good thing to do first is to rent first. We did it to make sure it's fully, because there's no point coming over on a weekend trip or coming over a couple of days every now and again. You need to stay here for a couple of weeks just to feel that this is right for you, because once you put that money down, that deposit, it's not like the UK. Oh, I've changed my mind now. It's a bit more difficult here. Once you put that money down, it is virtually set in rock. It's, you know, it takes a lot. You could probably spend out a lot of money just trying to get out of it if it's not for you. And I know some people that have bought on the internet, they haven't looked at the property, they've come over, they don't like it, but they've already done it all. You know, they spent all that money out. So yeah, you want to come here first, guys, rent. You do need to get that NIE. Yeah. So Theo said he took a picture. I mean, I asked what. I mean, yeah, take a picture. The only thing is that the law doesn't seem to respond to that. But I will say that the law. I think the law, like anybody out there, only human. They're all underpaid, and even a lot here have their overtime cut. They don't check your paperwork properly. But I'm not saying, you know, that's another option. Good idea what Theo said. Yeah, just I mean, I always take a photograph wherever I park my car, and I'm useless at numbers. I can't remember any frigging number, so I always take a picture of my car, the number plate. Yeah, but good question that. Peter, I don't know. I haven't dealt with Mercers, so I wouldn't know that. I know that some of these estate agents actually will do it all for you. I don't know how that goes, because you officially, once you go to that, you've got to sign for it. Even if you do it online, you still have to organise a date to. So that's something you would have to take up with Mercers. But as far as I know, you got to sign for it. So then maybe they can set up the NIE for you, but you've got to sign for it in person. And I know online that they actually say on there you can pay for it. There's still the setup, and they arrange a date with the local police station or whatever for you to come down there and sign it. So, I mean, I'm not saying that that's not right. It could be right, but as far as I know, you actually got to sign the piece of paper. I know other things you don't have to, but I know with that NIE, it's because it's your identification number, your tax thing. They want you there in person. But if they said that, well, that's all right, isn't it? But as far as I know, I had to be there. I had to be down the notary with my lawyer, sign a piece of paper. It didn't take long. Anyway, hang on, let's catch up a bit more. Wait. Looking at Mohacker, yeah, lovely place, Mohacker. I did a drive down to Mohacker, not realising that the actual town is up on the hill there. So I got to do another video, but I know it's a lovely place, lovely sandy beaches, right on the shore. But it must get very busy there. A lot of people live there. But yeah, lovely place. So I'll just keep on reading it. Hi, Peter. Okay, so that could be right, Theo. Yeah, that is right. I mean, this is the only other thing I didn't like about my lawyer, because he becomes your power attorney. He does take over complete control of all your of everything. So there you are. There you are, Peter. So that's answered that question. He's right, because it comes back to me now. I mean, we went down and signed for it, but you're right. The power attorney, which is your lawyer, he takes over complete control of all your money affairs, which is a bit worrying at the time. But yeah, so yeah, you're probably right that he can actually sign it for you. I don't know. Obviously, it's probably the same price. I don't know, but that is more helpful there, isn't it? So yeah, obviously Mercers are correct then. So that's what it's all about. It's all about information. I don't know everything. I'm just telling you what I went through myself. But yeah, that's good. Top man, Theo, you're on the ball today. Thank you, Mandy. Because I mean, I've just taken this off the internet. And reading through some of it is correct, but obviously there are ways around it, and some of it is a little bit misleading, or some of it's a bit confusing, really. Especially when we get around to talking about the padron tomorrow. Confusing. What I think Spain loves, it loves paperwork. Obviously, one thing it keeps people in work, which is great to see, especially here in Spain. When you go in down the town hall, very efficient. My parents sort of drummed into me when I was coming down to Malaga all the time is, oh, when you go down to the local police station, or you go down to the town hall, or you go to the notary, you've got to have photocopy after photocopy. So we took loads of photocopies. We went down to the town hall to sort out our padron. No, he walked over to the copy machine. I think it cost us 10 cents or 20 cents. He did all the photocopy, and he did everything for us, really. We just sat down there, showed him our passport, our deeds, and some other stuff. All done within about 5 minutes. Ever so polite. Okay, we couldn't speak much Spanish, but they coped very well with it. Yeah. So things have changed. Not as strict, and obviously reading some of the forums, especially I'm not going to mention that forum, but one of the forums that I read every now and again, God, there's so many confusing, conflicting things, especially this thing about how long can you live in Spain for. I think it's the 90 to 60 days that we're talking about, and then you can't come back and all this. Obviously with the Brexit, it's going to make things so much difficult. I'm just checking the time now. Anyway, how many we got in? We got 17. That's it. That's good. So can I ask guys where you're all from, please? Be interesting to know. I know I had a lot from Ireland yesterday, which is interesting. A couple from the US, and obviously a load from the UK. But it'd be interesting to know where you're all from. Just gives me an idea. Liverpool, Chester, so it would Midlands. That's good. Northern Ireland from Gary. Are we talking Belfast, Gary? Okay, Rob's just asking. Cork. Salisbury. God, I live not. I come from Blandford. Right. If you're not from the EU, does it help if you speak some Spanish to get work? Yeah. If you can speak Spanish, now don't forget, Rob, like anywhere else, I take it you're talking about, when you say you're speaking Spanish, you're talking about Latin Spanish, because the Spanish down this part of Spain is slightly broken. So if you're pronouncing, but cut the babble. Yeah, if you can speak Spanish, you've got a better chance of getting a job. Even a lot of the English bars there and restaurants, they'd still ask for their people to speak Spanish over somebody that can't. So people that thinking about coming out to Spain, looking for jobs, it's not easy. I know a lot of people that live in here are doing a lot of online stuff. That's how they're doing their work, because trying to get work here is very difficult. Don't forget, Spain is one of the highest unemployment places in Europe. I think it's 75% people in Europe. Now, where I'm living, it's mainly a farming area. Now, most of the people working out in the fields are either from Algeria or Ecuadorians. They don't pay much. There's hundreds of builders out here, jack of all trades. They don't pay them a lot. And don't forget, the weather here is really hot this time of year. You won't want to be working outside much, but if you can speak Spanish, yeah, that is a big bonus. And I know, obviously, especially people that are trying to learn English, the Spanish community trying to learn English, there's a lot of work there as well. No, don't forget also, the money is not brilliant, but then the cost of living here is slightly cheaper than most parts. So keep persevering, Rob. Scotland, Peter, right? El Campolalo, I think I know that. Yeah, wages are very low. Yeah, I mean, me and the wife went out the other night. We went to a local Chinese just down at the port. They do these menu dal meal. I'll get them wrong. The cheap, Theo knows what I'm on about. You get these cheap meal deals for about €10. You get 3-course meal with a drink for €10. That ain't bad, you know. But yeah, wages are not brilliant here, but then the cost of living is slightly different here. But even though saying that, I know in Madrid, if you're working in Madrid, if you're right in the center of Madrid, the rentals there can be 1,000 a month. So we was just talking about it yesterday, about sometimes I think the appeal goes across that living in Spain is really cheap, when actually I don't think it is. I don't think it's as cheap as what people say it is. I mean, you can live out in the wilds, I suppose, but you've come to Spain for your lifestyle. You haven't come to Spain to live in a little shoebox in the middle of nowhere with a fig tree. Hello. Oh, it's sorry guys. Like I said before, it's only a half-hour time. Anyway, Frank, you're coming too late, Frank. So anyway, I only do this for half hour a day. So tomorrow we're going to talk about the Padron. Yeah, the clock's telling me I've got to say adios amigos. I'm fine. I'm trying to get this sorted, but it sounds like it's working. Hope you enjoyed it. It's only a half-hour slot. So tomorrow we'll be talking about the Padron. Catch you again. If I missed a question, guys, please put it below the video. I'll try and answer it. Or what I will do is the following week. It's driving me mad now. The following week I will I'll put it on there. So yeah, hasta amigos, adios amigos, and catch you tomorrow. He's not turning off. He is turning off. Come on, let's get it.